हेलो दोस्तों, आप सभी का स्वागत है मेरे इस YouTube चैनल स्टडी एंड एंटरटेनमेंट क्लब में। आज मैं आपके लिए लेकर आया हूँ क्लास 12th चैप्टर नंबर 1 रिप्रोडक्शन इन ऑर्गेनिजम्स का टॉपिक 1.2। इसके पहले 1.1 टॉपिक मैंने इसके पिछले वीडियो में समझा दिया है, रीड कर दिया है। उसकी लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दे दी जाएगी। तो चलिए आज की वीडियो शुरू करते हैं। Sexual reproduction involves formation of the male and female gametes either by the same individual or by different individuals of the opposite sex. These gametes fuse to form the zygote, which develops to form the new organisms. It is an elaborate, complex, and slow process as compared to asexual reproduction. Because of the fusion of male and female gametes, sexual reproduction results in offspring that are not identical to the parents or amongst themselves. A study of diverse organisms, plants, animals, or fungi show that though they differ so greatly in external morphology, internal structure, and physiology, when it comes to sexual mode of reproduction, surprisingly, they share a similar pattern. Let us first discuss what features are common to these diverse organisms. All the organisms have to reach a certain stage of growth and maturity in their life before they can reproduce sexually. That period of growth is called the juvenile phase. It is known as vegetative phase in plants. This phase is of variable duration in different organisms. The end of the juvenile vegetative phase, which marks the beginning of the reproductive phase, can be seen easily in higher plants when they come to flower. How does it take for marigold, rice, wheat, coconut, mango plants to come to flower? In some plants where flowering occurs more than once, what would you call the interflowering period, juvenile or mature? Observe a few trees in your area. Do they really do they flower during the same month year after year? Why do you think the availability of fruits like mango, apple, jackfruit, etc. is seasonal? Are there some plants that flower throughout the year and some others that show seasonal flowering? Plants, the annual and biennial types, shows clear-cut vegetative, reproductive, and senescent phases. But in the perennial species, it is very difficult to clearly define these phases. A few plants exhibit unusual flowering phenomena. Some of them, such as bamboo species, flower only once in their lifetime, generally after 50 to 100 years, produce large number of fruits and die. Another plant, Strophalanthus kunthania, Nila Kuranji, flowers once in 12 years. As many of you would know, this plant flowered during September-October 2006. Its mass flowering transformed large tracts of hilly areas in Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu into blue stretches and attracted a large number of tourists. In animals, the juvenile phase is followed by morphological and physiological changes prior to active reproductive behavior. The reproductive phase is also of variable duration in different organisms. Can you list the changes seen in human beings that are indicative of reproductive maturity? Among animals, for example birds, do they lay eggs all through the year or is it a seasonal phenomena? What about other animals like frogs and lizards? You will notice that birds living in nature lay eggs only seasonally. However, birds in captivity, as in poultry farms, can be made to lay eggs throughout the year. In this case, laying eggs is not related to reproduction but is a commercial exploitation of human welfare. The female of placental mammals exhibit cyclical changes in the activities of ovaries and accessory ducts, as well as hormones during the reproductive phase. In non primate mammals like cows, sheep, rats, deers, dogs, tiger, etc. Such cyclical changes during reproduction are called oestrus cycle, whereas in primates, monkeys, apes, and humans, it is called menstrual cycle. Many mammals, especially those living in natural, wild conditions, exhibit such cycles only during favorable seasons in their reproductive phase and are therefore called seasonal breeders. Many mammals are reproductively active throughout their reproductive phase and hence are called continuous breeders. That we all grow old if we live long enough is something that we recognize. But what is meant by growing old? The end of reproductive phase can be considered as one of the parameters of senescence or old age. There are concomitant changes in the body like slowing of metabolism, etc. during this last phase of lifespan. Old age ultimately leads to death. In both plants and animals, hormones are responsible for the transitions between the three phases. Interaction between hormones and certain environmental factors regulate the reproductive processes and the associated behavioral expressions of organisms. Events in sexual reproduction. After attainment of maturity, all sexually reproducing organisms exhibit events and processes that have remarkable fundamental similarity, even though the structures associated with the sexual reproductions are indeed very different. The events of sexual reproduction, though elaborate and complex, follow a regular sequence. Sexual reproduction is characterized by the fusion or fertilization of the male and female gametes, the formation of zygote, and embryogenesis. For convenience, these sequential events may be grouped into three distinct stages, namely the pre-fertilization, fertilization, and the post-fertilization events. 1.2.1 Pre-fertilization events. These include all the events of sexual reproduction prior to the fusion of gametes. The two main pre-fertilization events are gameteogenesis and gamete transfer. First, gameteogenesis. As you already aware, gameteogenesis refers to the process of formation of two types of gametes, male and female. Gametes are haploid cells. In some algae, the two gametes are so similar in appearance that it is not possible to categorize them into male and female gametes. They are hence called homogametes, isogametes. However, in a majority of sexually reproducing organisms, the gametes produced are of two morphologically distinct types, heterogametes. In such organisms, the male gamete is called antherozoid or sperm, and the female gamete is called egg or ovum. Sexuality in organism. Sexual reproduction in organisms generally involves the fusion of gametes from two different individuals, but this is not always true. From your recollection of examples studied in class 11th, can you identify cases where self-fertilization is observed? Of course, citing such example in plants is easy. Plants may have both male and female reproductive structures in the same plant, bisexual, or on different plants, unisexual. In several fungi and plants, terms such as homothelic and monoecious are used to denote the bisexual conditions, and heterothelic and dioecious are the terms used to describe unisexual condition. In flowering plants, the unisexual male flower is staminate, that is, bearing stamens, while the female is pistillate, or bearing pistils. In some flowering plants, both male and female flowers may be present on the same individuals, monoecious, or on separate individuals, dioecious. Some examples of monoecious plants are cucurbits and coconuts, and of dioecious plants are papaya and date palm. Name the type of gametes that are formed in staminate and pistillate flowers. But what about animals? Are individuals of all species, either male or female, unisexual? Or Are there species which possesses both the reproductive organs? Bisexual. You probably can make a list of several unisexual animal species. Earthworm, sponge, tapeworm, and leech. Typical examples of bisexual animals that possess both male and female reproductive organs are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites. Cockroach is an example of unisexual species. Cell division during gamete formation. Gametes in all heterogametic species are of two types, namely male and female. Gametes are haploid, though the permanent plant body from which they arise may be either haploid or diploid. A haploid parent produces gametes by mitotic division. Does this mean that meiosis never occurs in organisms that are haploid? Carefully examine the flow chart of life cycle of algae that you have studied in class 11th to get a suitable answer. Several organisms belonging to Monera, fungi, algae, and bryophytes have haploid plant body, but in organisms belonging to pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, and most of the animals, including human beings, the parental body is diploid. It is obvious that meiosis, the reduction division, has to occur if a diploid body has to produce haploid gametes. Table 1.1. Chromosome numbers in meiosis diploid and gametes haploid of some organisms. In diploid organisms, specialized cells called meiocytes, gamete mother cell, undergo meiosis. At the end of meiosis, only one set of chromosomes gets incorporated into each gamete. Carefully study table 1.1 and fill in the diploid and haploid chromosome number of organisms. Is there any relationship in the number of chromosomes of meiocytes and gametes? तो आज हम यहाँ रुकते हैं, फिर 1.2.1.2 गमेट ट्रांसफ़र हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में करेंगे। अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो प्लीज़ लाइक करें, शेयर करें और सब्सक्राइब करें। धन्यवाद।